Tony Ferguson. Never had a skate shop. In real life, I think Tommy Guerrero. Childhood hero. Virtual reality. I haven't watched it. I mean, I see clips online here and there. It's been a while. Oh man, I think it was new to the camera. I don't even remember doing that. It was just some like messing around with everyone, and then when I went down to the premiere, Mike Ternasky was like, "I have a surprise for you." Like, and he showed me this clip. I do not remember doing that at all. It was like a snippet of like in time, right? And it ended up being this like intro. I hated it. Couldn't escape it.
You to the camera. Yeah, I'm just an amateur skateboarder. That's me, Tony Rome.
Always misbehaving and mischievous. Kaboom! The Jedi's back to seismic. Shock ya! I'm the doctor with the donor organ. I amputated from your body, shoddy. I got equipped with slingshots to fling rocks and clean clocks. I'm leaving them seas in coma, traumatized, in conniptions when I fix my psionic powers. It's been hours since you cowards got devoured when I showered these catastrophic flows. I'm overwhelming foes.
Favorite part? Man, there's so many good ones. Maybe Rick's part. Yeah, insane. One time. No, I was learning all that stuff, and then it just never switched tray flip, like never felt right. So I was just like, I think I had a sequence of one, and it was like terrible. I was just like, nah, I'm gonna stick to like regular trays. At that time, you're just like trying new things. Like you're not like redoing those tricks. I kind of let it slide. Like it wasn't like a formal offer. It was just Guy Mariano and Tim Gavin just like hyping me up, like get on Blind. And yeah, it wasn't like a formal offer. Rick said to chill and wait for him, so I ended up doing that. You know what? No, I don't think I ever. No, I was part of what? How many people quitting? Like it was like a movement. We got in the van to go on tour and never talked to them again. Personally, I never called and quit, no. We were going on tour and we'd go to World and pack our last boxes, and they had these like 10 wide boxes back then. No, Javante already had like a couple boxes with my name on it, so I think I got less. No, I was amateur. I think I was only on for like 6 months, right? Like it was pretty quick. A lot, I don't know, maybe 10 boards, line jeans, jackets, you know, they were like good boxes back then. But like I said, I was only on for like a short amount of time, right? Sheffy, Rick, I mean, everyone's parts were amazing. Carol. At the time we were getting, we wanted something that wasn't commercial and like that wasn't, no one heard and released. It was cool, but looking back on it, like it's, I don't know, I feel like I could have chose something a little more classic. Goldfish, yes. That's a good question. I don't remember, maybe I wasn't here, I was kind of back and forth to Canada a lot. I don't remember the premiere for this. Definitely like Plan B's, the premiere were huge. This is like a year later and a different vibe and I don't remember the premiere. Maybe there was one in LA, but. Yeah, it was like a little make-believe bump. Like there was just like slight little incline that you could kind of pop off at that new spot. So we were always just like, you have to hit it in the right way. And then there was one at the top too. The girl one was Sheffy for sure. That was amazing. When I first got on Plan B, went down to San Diego with Rick. Yeah, I remember meeting him, just being like so polite and coolest person. Yeah, he was just awesome. I mean, I just had in my head like the other day that switch tray at the Greyhound station. Just so much power. When he did it and he was like 1 foot off, and like, oh man. So good. It was such an amazing time because this is when Girl just first started. We were all living together. Like I lived with Eric at the time, and everyone was like close. We were skating everywhere every day, same spots, the whole crew. So that's why a lot of this video, we're just like everyone has a trick at the same spot, you know. So it was a fun time looking back on it. Like at this point, I think I was living with Eric. When Girl first started, I was just staying with Megan and Rick. Yeah, it was awesome. It was like I think Spike was living there with Megan, but he wasn't around a lot. But yeah, I would just go down and stay with them. It was, yeah, great times. Coin. Rick's got his own language, right? So he's pulling like stuff from Canadian lingo and just like runs with it. Everything, like they call me Poco. It's like a place in Vancouver. It's like a random place in Vancouver. It's called like Port Coquitlam Poco, and they call me Poco because I'm all that stuff like coin for money. Like you got mass coin, like all these Canadian little like lingo. He's got his own language.
So what's that one called?
This is Ottawa Senators. I grew up in Ottawa, Canada, so this was kind of like I didn't have any say in it. I'm not like a hockey guy or anything, but I think Rick and them just put this together, just kind of homage to like my hometown. Yeah, it was cool. It was like I liked it. I don't know when this was. I feel like pretty early on. I mean, look at this shape. It's crazy. No, I don't think so. What is it, like 7?
Under 7.5 for sure.
Yeah.
It's so flat too.
I did in the beginning. I mean, even like my first ones, we were bringing stuff in. I like this picture. I like we were very involved. You know, if it was like Andy or someone else, like they started to create series. That was like before series. We were like bringing in clothing. Like, oh, these are like I like these pants. Like we were all just like very involved and didn't realize that till later. Like that you were a part of like this. Like everything that's happening, that's forming, yeah. Looking back is really cool. I had this one that was like Rick sent me yesterday. I don't know if you have it, but this tree growing out of like, and I brought it in. I don't know where I got it out of a book. It just has no like, it's so random compared to every other graphic I have. It's all wood stained. It's like a man, but I was just like, I like this. It was like out of some book. No, I love, like I have a lot of my old Girl ones. I just love the artwork, like all the guys that were involved from day one till now, and I love them all. I don't have all of mine, but I have a bunch, and I collect different stuff for sure. I've got some Keenan boards, I have like Guy boards, and then like old school boards, Guerreros and Nadas and Gons I have. Yeah, he was one of my favorite skaters when I was like a little kid, definitely like childhood hero. He was the first guy who ever sponsored me, so. The taxi cab one, yeah. I always loved like the chocolate Evan Heacock series. Like even like on Girl, I wrote a lot of the chocolate boards. I just always loved those graphics. The chunk names, like the Keen, like it just, that aesthetic was like, I love that. I mean the Girl stuff, it was super clean too. Like even just the OG boards. One of my favorite boards that Andy did, it was on the cover of like this magazine, the basketball, he's like holding basketball up. Okay, so that you have that.
All right.
I don't think you guys got a position of property management. They look down and film you.
Oh yeah. We're just doing a quick thing.
Unless you talk to property management.
Oh really?
So you film on the sidewalk, you can't film on the property.
Okay,
Can we just get 5 minutes and then we'll get out of here? Cool. I appreciate that.
he's good?
It's gonna be the longest 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes, like a skate trick. 5 more minutes, 2 minutes, 1 more minute. This is definitely one of my favorite Girl boards. Yeah, it was on the cover of a magazine, right? Art in America magazine, but yeah, it was just like really cool. I love this series. And this is actually a board that we're like, Girl is reissuing like right now for next couple months it's gonna come out. But like period correct, same wood, same concave, whatever little pinner shape is. Yeah, I have one of these. Probably not. I could try it. It like was kind of the first board where I was like, it felt like an Everslick again. Like, I think it was maybe the first like sublimations, like, so it's like a little heavy or something. It does seem like a slick, right? We're just gonna run it. This was Yeah, so sick. I've watched this recently. Like, how sick was this movie? The way it was put together at the time, like, amazing. I think he was like having fun with it, but like, yeah, one of the coolest things we've done for sure. Backside heel flip. I skated the banks. I never had any clips over it. We went there, didn't skate it a lot, but I like regret never having like something like, I mean, we were skating and people were like Eric would be skating it, nollie backside heel, or like, I was there for that, yeah. Dudes are like like I didn't know what I was doing, so I was like, I'll film something later. I like regret like not getting something over that wall. I tried stuff, I never really went in on it, tried too hard, but it was weird, and like flying out into traffic. The banks definitely was one of my favorite. It's funny, like when we were in New York, we like skated like Astor Place. Like we didn't really like, you're just like skating in the middle of the road on the curb like most of the time. And I was like, this is a spot? Like everyone's just like hanging out. But I get it now. There was nowhere to like really, you know, and it just made, it was a good little zone like where you could actually like do flats, slappies, manis, just the whole thing, like skating around the city. I was hurt at the time. I had like torn like some ligaments in my ankle, and I was like back in Canada. So like I had like zero part of it. Like, yeah, I did nothing in this. Yeah, it sucks because I love this movie. Yeah, such a good one. This is amazing. Tim Gavin in it, how good was he? Oh man. Yeah, I love this board. This was so cool. This is one board like still today I don't have. I wish I had it.
They got it a girl. I just saw.
They got a girl, yeah. I was always like sending like one board home like to my mom, like every one of my boards for like years. One day like I came home and she had like given it to kids in the neighborhood, given my boards away.
Yeah.
So I have like half of my boards.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting the food.
Okay.
All right,
Here.
we're going.
Let me take the boards. Okay, we're back. We got kicked out of the other spot, just like skateboarding. This one's definitely one of my favorites. The Herman Miller, Tony Larson series. You asked about favorite girl series. I mean, this would be my favorite girl series, for sure.
Okay, let's see here.
I mean, mine, of course. No, I don't know. The chairs were really cool. Yeah, that's probably my favorite, the Eames chair. I just got one of those chairs, so I'm like so excited about it, and I was like, oh, I need that board. Yeah.
Will you sign that for me?
Yeah, for sure. On the top, right?
Yeah, on the top.
Sick. How many boards do you own?
I think 150 or something like
150?
that. I don't buy them anymore, but yeah. Thanks, Sarah.
Mouse, so good. One of my favorite videos for sure. I have everything on like VHS, disc. Like, I'm never gonna use any of them. I don't have anything to play it anymore. But I have them all. Guy's part was like my favorite for sure. Those Lockwood clips, Fakie like 270. Yeah. All that stuff was amazing. I mean, this whole part was like insane. Yeah. Yeah, I think we were like pretty involved at that time. Like we'd be sitting in the editing room and go down to Girl and just like check out what's going on and look at your parts, and that was, yeah, we were pretty involved. Music-wise, everything. I don't know if it took that long. I think like we were just a bunch of people were skating it, different tricks. Yeah, that was like my closing part, and Guy had it, the trick like just went by. He had the same trick in the part. I remember someone saying something. They were like, oh, Guy did it already. I was like, oh, that's like my ender. And it's just like a clip going by in his part. Like, yeah, I can't really remember those sessions, but we would all just skate it and people were just banging off tricks and getting stuff. No, I mean, it'd always be nice to have more clips. All my stuff is really like short. I like to just put my best stuff out, but it's always be nice to like contribute more for sure. I was trying, like one thing, I mean there's lots of things I wish I could get, but what are those rails in Long Beach, the brown square rail?
Oh, yeah.
I was filming with Eric, he did like a switch frontside blunt on on that rail. But I was trying kickflip nose slide, kickflip frontside nose slide, yeah, and should have did it. Should have just like put the time in and got it, and I was like, oh man, well, I wanted it, but it just got away. Yeah, that's kind of when the best things happen, when you're just skating and like, and then you go back to try and film it and it doesn't work out. Definitely the switch flip over the table. Anything he did, Keenan, like just so much finesse and style, like Gino too. I mean, two of my favorites, like those guys, like for sure. I mean, really, like everyone in this video is top notch, yeah. When he started coming to LA and getting on Chocolate, I didn't know him before that. You know, we were all like super tight and best friends. If you're around him, you're having like the best time ever. You know, whether you're on tour or like traveling here, like it was a blast. It was like the best time, so. Oh man.
So what shoe was that?
This was the KCK Kareem Campbell Duffs. So sick. One of my favorite shoes for sure. What is this, size like 4? You've had this for a long
A
time.
little bit.
Yeah, this was so cool. I believe like Kareem was inspired by like the Reeboks, you know, because like we were skating in those shoes back then. I feel like it's like the perfect silhouette, you know. I think it takes notes from the Reebok workout for sure, and the Air Force One. It's kind of like a mix-up of that, you know, like it's like an Air Force and like a Reebok, but made skatable on like a cup sole. It's so cool. I had a lot of these, the black ones with gum rubber, like,
What
yeah.
did you prefer, the white or the black?
I had both, but the black, you know, I forgot that it was Duffs. Like I was like, what, Duffs? Like I didn't realize what, like that, yeah. It was
really
like
good.
before like action and yeah. I mean, pet peeves, can't think of anything.
Yes.
For skating, suede is better. It's always better. Yeah, I like the mix of materials and different things. I mean, these were like the white one's different, but the original one of this was like this like iron suede.
Yeah.
It was like a suede, but like pressed. It was like so good for skating.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They had like a grid on them. That's what it was, like this iron suede.
Yeah.
This is a great shoe. Oh, age-old question. They're both good. Back in the day, Enigma. But then, you know, it's funny, I'm skating in like half cabs now, like the other day. Enigmas were my shit back then, yeah. The green, tan were cool, but you know what really cool is those blue, tan, and black that Jason Lee wore, like those ones were sick. Oh, Staple. That shoe actually, like, I think that was like from like what we were wearing, those Filas and stuff, and same thing, like, oh, we should do something. But I just saw that shoe the other day, the Staple, and that was like slim at the time. It's like massive, super like puffy, like big. And that was like really like extreme at the time. It was basic, it felt like a little pinner, like, yeah. But I think that was from that Fila. I like Air Force Ones, yeah. Always like Uptowns. That was a shoe, like, talking about Keenan, like he would skate in those, and like Gino too, but like skating, like those things were like, make it look good, and like it was pretty crazy. Gum rubber ones were the best. I remember having like there's like a mid-top version that was like gum rubber and like with the little strap, all black, and those were the best. Wallabies for me.
What color?
The OG tan ones, I still wear them to this day. I like the shell toe, because that was something we skated in, and it's like such an iconic shoe even now, like it's just classic. No Velcro strap. Oh man, I think the 95 is like, just has some, like that was the one for me. Yeah, and it was like traveling, we saw it, and like we were in like Japan or something, and just when it came out, it was like, we all had to have it. It was just like, I remember that specifically. 110 or 120, something like that. I mean, for me, Jordan 1. I grew up skating in that shoe, buying them, like, get them in like discount bins, 2 for $50. That was the shoe. Seeing the Bones Brigade wear that, and like, for me, it's the one. Just like the technology,
Yeah,
you mean?
technology.
Yeah. I mean, Nike Air for sure. We did some stuff with a Nike pump for A-Life, like we did like a club, so I did a shoe like that, but I never wore them. I never had a pair. Kareem Campbell, legendary skater, so ahead of his time in so many things. Like we're talking about this, action, his skateboarding, everything he's done, like I have a lot of respect for him. Crazy visionary, right? I didn't know him that well. I got on like right at the end, but just everything he's done is like, again, ahead of his time. Oh, love Megan. One of the best people. Just, it was like the glue to like everything, that girl, and bringing everyone together. Yeah, special, very special. Love Megan. Oh, love that guy. Great dude, very talented, humble, super cool guy.
There you go.
Yeah, right. No Philly guys. Well, Stevie, Philly guy, for sure. We were out there filming and just like with Stevie and staying there for a while, hitting different spots. We went out there with Ty, Retta. Jerron had already done something on that bump. The guy was always like 360 ollie guy. Like at the time, everyone's trying to flip off of it. So I didn't really have anything to flip off. So I was like, oh, just try this. Like, it was just more like a feel good thing. But now looking back at it, it's like one of my favorite things like that I filmed. And that spot too, it's just like, I don't know, it's so iconic, and just the colors, and it's like Ty filmed it really well. Even when we were out there, like we were like on a mission, like doing stuff. We'd go to Love and skate, but then we would like go do stuff. So we weren't like chilling as much. It was like quick and long. I was trying this for like a long time. Like back in the day, you couldn't skate here. You'd get like 3 tries. These same dudes would come out and like you'd be kicked out. So I think I came here for like a week straight, trying it, kicked out in like 4 or 5 tries, never getting to warm up. Yeah, it was funny. I remember this trick because I was like trying to go home, and I just like needed to get this clip before I flew home. I need to get it. And one day, we rolled up a couple tries with Mesa. It just worked. It was actually, I was trying to do it forward forever, and I was just like, maybe it'll just work better fakie, and it just kind of went quick. But a long time trying to get it. At least a half hour, 40 minutes every time. Come here, try it, get kicked out. I mean, Aaron's one of my best friends, and we like kind of like, you know, he's been there since the beginning. We always had a connection where like there's no pressure with Aaron. He's just hanging out, telling jokes. Like he's just like right there. Ty, like I wasn't like, didn't have a lot of, I guess I like some European trips, but I didn't have a ton of time with Ty, but he was definitely more like structured, and he had to make things happen. So he was like, we're going out here, we're doing this. So it was a different dynamic for sure. Both great dudes, and really like thankful to film with both of those guys. Yeah. We're getting kicked out again. This video is like I feel like my part was really short, but it was kind of like my best stuff. We were supposed to have full parts. Ty, he like edited it down to like a montage, and I remember being super bummed on it. Just like, oh, I'm like just in this montage, like I don't have it. But looking back, it's like, it's really cool. A lot of people like it, and the feeling of it was cool.
Yeah, I can hear you. You know what? We went to that spot a lot because at that time we referred to it as beneficial, and it was you would get kicked out like very quickly. I think it would be typical sometimes that we would go there and he would only get like maybe even 4 or 5 tries before they came out. There was no like Sundays is a go. This was way before that era of that spot.
Yeah.
I was working at Skateboard at the time, and it was like not that far from the skateboarder office. I would even like leave work to go meet him there, maybe get like 6 tries before we got kicked out. So there was like a lot of going back for that. It was because it was a hard trick, and like I said, you would get kicked out quickly. So when we finally got it, I don't remember how many tries it was, but it was like a real feeling of like celebration. I think we knew it was going to be like one of his better tricks as well. I would say it was probably in the last month because I kind of got pulled into it the last 4 or 5 months to get it finished up. So it was close to the end for sure. It wasn't like a day before the premiere or anything like that, but it was closer to the end.
Yeah.
I didn't do the edit for that video, so I was kind of happy that high five moment was in the edit because we were generally like that happy. Tony was so stoked. What's funny is that VX that I had during Yeah Right was a VX that Eric Kaufman just was at Sammy's camera one day and saw that they were getting rid of a VX, and he just bought one. Like, this would just be good to have. And that was the VX I think I still have it, to be honest. And I think he just saw like an opportunity. You know, he's rich. He's Eric. So he just bought it real like on a whim, and that was the camera I was using.
Yeah.
So Yeah Right, you want a little bonus material?
Yeah, absolutely. You kidding me?
I got a call one day for the Owen Wilson skit. And at the time, must have called me. He's like, "Hey, tomorrow we're going to meet at that rail and film something with Owen Wilson. Can you come with us?" The people that were in it that you see, I believe Andy Mueller was there, and I actually filmed the whole Owen Wilson thing like long lens off to the side. So there's like a second angle of that whole exchange. I didn't get used. It probably didn't make sense to use it, but we decided like not to tell anybody, even anybody like on the team that wasn't there, that was going on. After the premiere, we went to an after party, and like like somebody like Tony like probably watched Zoolander like a million times by that point, and all those kind of movies. We were at the after party, and right away he just comes up to me. He was like, "You're not my friend. You didn't let me go to the Owen Wilson. How did you not tell me about that?" Like, he was laughing because it was like a nice night, but he was like, "You motherfucker, dude, you didn't let me meet Owen Wilson. Like, you're not my friend, dude. You're not my friend."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right.
I mean, that line in San Francisco, the kid with black tail and the nollie heel. I think I like noticed filming from the front, even from like early Plan B videos. I remember there's some stuff of like maybe Rodney film like that. The thing about filming the front is like keeping your speed, but I think maybe just because I thought we were on a hill that I could kind of stay in front of him. Because sometimes you start in front, but then they whip past you midway through the line. I just figured the trick would look better from the front. I think in Goldfish I filmed Mike doing the back tail from the front too, or something. I don't know. I would do it occasionally. I mean, I can appreciate like, ooh, the sun, that's pretty and everything, but maybe it kind of just like made it so you could see the trick as well. And I think Rick Howard actually, like when I brought it back, he was like, "Dude, you let the sun come in." Like he had, like, I mean, he wouldn't say like you blew it all mean or anything. I think that's part of Tony's. You know what? I think in the Chocolate Tour, maybe like the last 5 or 6 tricks, I felt like he had like some really strong tricks at that time. It was like a kickflip back tail over like a gap. He did like a kickflip front nose on another ledge. I remember it was just like kind of like a bang, bang, bang. It was like a short part, but like that last little flurry of tricks I always thought was really good. I always loved that kickflip front side nose slide at the end of the Plan B part. It was probably like my favorite thing of his.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, well, good luck with the edit.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah. Okay, take care.
See you soon.
うん。